Good morning, guys. Just a quick video today just to show you how a properly functioning agent can work within your business. So what I want to do is just show you one of my trained agents. So I'm going to open up my comms agent for Build Up Australia. And I'm going to put in there just an email thread with absolutely no context. I'm not going to give it any instructions at all. I'm just pasting the email thread, and you can see there's a whole heap of information in that. Okay, and right now what's happening is in the right here, I've got a skill that starts on every one of my agents. It's called the session start skill. So what it does is it begins a process to set up rather than just going hickledy-pickledy out on the internet. The first thing it does is it reads the instructions to ensure that it understands how it's got to act this morning within this project. And it's read the instructions. It knows it's the comms agent for Build Up Australia. Okay. The next thing it's doing is it's asking me what folder to mount. So we're going to just mount the head of Dropbox. I use Dropbox to keep it all my DAG or my knowledge source and knowledge base easily accessible for my agents. Right now it's mounted that workspace. It's looking at the pathway. So it's gone and found, see here it says build up BUAIS 3 comms agent output. So this is where it automatically goes and puts any documents or PDFs or anything like that. Unless I tell it otherwise, it will automatically save those documents into that folder in Dropbox for me. Okay, so that's been built into the agent's instructions. Next, it's mapping the whole folder structure. So it's going right through that Dropbox folder structure to find out if there's any other information that it needs from there. So one of the things I do with my agents to keep it constrained is they know they're not to go out to the internet to find information. All the information they need, I give them. So it's similar to what it was called a RAG or random augmented generation. This is more a DAG system, which is a document augmented generation system. It's read the architecture map. So the architecture map is basically if I'm working on certain projects over a course of many sessions, I have an architecture map to let it know where we need to be or where we are now, where we need to get to. Okay, it's checked the version of itself, so it's made sure that everything's there, and it's also gone and picked up the branding documents, the logos and things like that. So right now, if I want to export this with my branding, it has now got my logo, it's got all my branding colors, it's got my style guide, it's ready to go. Now, session validation, I just put it in and I didn't give it any instructions at all. Okay, so right now it's doing what we call a session validation. So this is another skill that I've written for these agents. The reason I do a validation check at the beginning of every session is to prevent any drift or any hallucinations from happening from the very beginning. Okay, so we look at the objective and we look at the risk and assumptions. So right now I'm going to pause this as I respond to it so the video is not too long, and back. So basically all I'm doing now is just giving Claude context as to what I wanted. Most of you guys will need to do a lot of this beforehand, give it context and things like that as part of your prompting. I've trained my AI so that it's just a bit more of a conversational style. I just install the information and then we have a chat about the context. Has the email been sent? No. You need to write it up. That's it. So now what it's showing us is another part of my comms agent. So I have my comms agent able to give me a forensic analysis and psychological analysis of how the person is feeling. So we've got the forensic analysis, we've got the emotional drivers, we've got hidden risks, power dynamics, framing analysis, concession risks, and leverage opportunities. So, and then we're clarifying the gap. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to answer these 2 questions, and then it's going to draft me my email. Okay, so my comms agent has just asked me a couple of quick questions before it develops my email, and I've answered those. Now it's going to look at the way I normally write my emails, and it's now going to generate that email to Richard for me. So while this is happening, I could be working on something else, okay? I often have 2 or 3 agents working concurrently, and I'll be flipping between the 2. So here's the email all ready to go. Do you approve this to send, or would you like it to revise? Now, I can tell it to send. I can copy and paste it into my Outlook, or I can ask it to send, and I will ask it to send now. And what will happen is it will now go to Outlook and mount that email into Outlook for me, ready to send. Look, keep watching for more tips and tricks on how to use Claude. And don't forget, we're hosting masterclasses all around Australia to show builders how to more effectively use Claude in their system, or use AI. Not just Claude, there's so many different AI systems around. This is a really great opportunity for you guys to learn how to incorporate AI into your business, start saving a ton of time, and more importantly, mitigate risk in your business. Thanks for watching.